Hey guys, Derek here, and just wanted to go over a topic that kind of hits home for me because I struggle with work-life balance quite a bit. Working from home and having a couple different businesses, my online business, the Nutrition Renegade, and also my brick and mortar personal training studio. It's really hard to sometimes shut it off and be engaged and in the moment and with my family and friends and in my social life. That's why I put this together to kind of not only give myself a template to follow, but hopefully help you if you're having the same challenges. So let's go through it, and hopefully you'll get something out of this, okay? First thing, contributing factors. You know, when I was brought up, it was work, 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 hauling wood, working on the farm, whatever the case was. And, you know, if you were bored, Dad was always the first one to be out there saying, you know what, if you're bored, let's put you to work. It wasn't like, let's go play. It was, let's go work. So I have no problem putting in work and working very hard. Having said that, it sometimes gets in the way of my family life. And my wife and I actually just had a conversation the other day about how sometimes I'm a little too focused and driven in my business. A couple other points that are contributing factors. People work hard to make a lot of money. Everybody has different goals and triggers as to why they work hard. They want to be successful. Maybe they want to climb that corporate ladder, or you're working for your next raise or position. And even technology, all this technology, smartphones and tablets and iPads and faster computers, it's all supposed to make our lives easier. But I find that it probably does not, because you have a really tough time disconnecting. And I mean, how many of you guys sleep with your iPhone or your smartphone? Everybody I know does. How many times do you go out for dinner or a social event and you go with 3 people and there's actually 6 people on the conversation or in the conversation because you're talking to 3 people, plus all 3 of you are talking on your smartphones or tablet or whatever you have with you. Like, the engagement is really not there. So being able to unplug is paramount in being able to be successful in creating a work-life balance. Okay? This is something I'm learning as well, so you're not alone. Next piece, signs and symptoms. Always preoccupied with work. I'm there all the time. Often even at dim sum, we went for dim sum today, and I was thinking about work. And you need to be able, I need to, and you need to be able to disconnect at times to really engage with the people that count, okay? Everything else falls to the side. Like I said, family, social life, and one of the big ones is health. You know, some of the upper executives that I know in my wife's business and my old business that I used to work at, you know, their health was the least of their concerns. Many of them were overweight, heart problems, stressed, and it was the last thing that they worried about. Some of the signs and symptoms are like to control or micromanage, need to be controlling, and the boss. Neglect family time because of work. Look for ways to work while nobody's looking, right? You sneak a look at your iPhone, you sneak a look at your smartphone, you're checking email all hours of the day, you know, and not being engaged with your family and friends, okay? And when you speak to your significant other or you're talking to friends, all you guys talk about is work. All we talk about is what we're doing at work, like we have nothing else going on in our lives. So those are some of the signs and symptoms, and I imagine some of those resonate with a lot of you. Next, who can help? Like any addiction, there's denial. I deny it. I mean, obviously, I'm coming out of the closet. I have a challenge with the work-life balance, and that's something for 2013 that I'll work on. Family, friends, support. You know, I get my wife to call me on it and really just hold me to what I said, that I would try to be more engaged. And I hate the word try. I would be more engaged and not think about work so much. And if all else fails, you know, professional counsel can help if you just cannot get a handle on it, okay? Where is the balance? So I set boundaries for my work time as far as, you know, I need these hours to get these things done. I'm very goal-oriented. I drive myself. Nobody else is going to drive me. And same with you. You have to be your own driver. And what I found is I need to put the boundaries also on my work hours. So at 8 p.m., because I work around my wife's schedule, I get a couple hours at night to work. At 8 p.m., I shut it down. And I need to turn off my cell phone. I need to unplug my computer. I need to just turn everything off and be present, both mentally and physically, with my family and friends. Okay, exercise. That is one of the few times right now that I can completely shut off my brain because I hammer the workouts. 4 or 5 days a week. Plan a vacation, and this is huge. But don't make the mistake that I make, is working while you're away on vacation. Okay, if you're going to go on vacation, unplug completely because you really need to rejuvenate and give yourself that balance. Okay, and reevaluate your life goals and life purpose. If your corporate or business or work goals are starting to carry over into your home life with your family and whatnot, it's something that you may want to look at. Because eventually it will come to a head, and it's better to catch it early, right? Next, we've got, are you a workaholic? Okay, as with any addiction, workaholics may be in denial. We talked about that. Despite the possible health consequences, which, the heart stress, anger, depression, anxiety, and depression doesn't get talked about a lot, and people don't realize they have it. They just, I'm feeling blue, I'm feeling down. It's a real thing, and it can be one of the symptoms of working too much. And often workaholics, like any other addiction, they don't see the addiction for what it really is. And get the help of family, friends, and seek professional help to identify the negative thoughts and behavior patterns. A therapist can help you find the healthy balance in all areas of your life, such as work and family, friends, everything, right? Try to get that balance. So finally, we talked about creating the balance, creating a framework for your work time. If it's 5 o'clock that you're supposed to be home or you're supposed to shut down at 5. Shut off your cell phones, your iPads, your iPhones, whatever it is. Don't check your email. A mentor of mine, Craig Valentine, he doesn't check his email until 10 in the morning, I believe. And he starts at 4 a.m. It's just one of his rules, right? So just shut everything down at a certain time every day and make it a rule. Set the boundaries, protect your downtime, just like you protect your work time, okay? If you think you have a challenge and cannot seem to get it under control, seek professional help. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, you seeking help just shows that you're braver than those who won't even confront it and will not take the plunge into getting the help that they probably need. Okay? So hopefully this gives you a little bit of framework, to be engaged with your family. We're all working towards something greater, but sometimes I think we put our family and friends at risk because we're so focused and so driven, and I know that's a challenge with me. And I am going to use this framework to improve in 2013 and be more present and be more engaged, both physically and mentally, and drop the work. As soon as it's time to quit, it's time to quit and shut her down. Okay? Hopefully this helps you guys out and you get a little bit out of it, okay? Take care.